Nearly 3 minutes in, no scoring yet. There's a deflection by Ivy Curry. He gets up the floor in a flash and lays it in. And UCF's been better defensively as of late, allowing right at 65 points per game in their last 4. Quick hands from Chiam. Here's Hall. Score it, plus the foul.
Difficult. If you're not going to take care of the basketball, see, now this turns into one-on-one. And when you have high-level Division I college basketball players, they are going to convert these opportunities more time.
JU on the board after the free throw. Darius Johnson lost the handle. McCray, nice behind the back and the finish.
Yeah, just so explosive right there is Robert McCray in the open court.
Ivy Curry gets into the paint, rises up. Stephon Payne there to challenge. Shot clock down to 1. Coleman gets it off and beats the buzzer with a 3. Chiam?
Yeah, right here. I mean, 2 Knights leave their feet to pass, something you never want to do in basketball, but it works out as Debo Coleman is able to lock and load.
Ricky Williams are both available today. First time this season that both of those guys have been available to get in a game as Stephon Payne hits the mid-range jumper. There's Mikey Williams, the transfer from Memphis. Jalen Sellers, of course, UCF's leading scorer a season ago. Chiam with an answer.
Yeah, and he's capable of making those shots, Austin. I mean,
Gym basketball has been the physicality of lifting and gaining weight, saying it is a different way of training and playing he's adjusting to.
Out of a cannon towards the basket, so a real bright spot for the Knights to have Jalen Sellers back here tonight.
Niels Mahofsky boards the miss. Hall in transition. Lob for Sellers. Welcome back, Jalen Sellers.
That's a real challenge, and I mean, those last 2 are out in Arizona, right? That's a 3-4 hour flight. Excuse me, more like a 4-hour flight. You're looking at just a change in time difference. It's going to be a real difficulty for the Knights there in that first 3 out of 5 on the road. Coming in with a chip on their shoulder, but you can absolutely expect that Bill Self wants to beat the Knights as Robert McCray is able to get to a nice 10-foot spot for a floater. But, oh yes, Coach Bill Self is going to have his team ready to go. I don't think we ever would have thought that Kansas would have UCF circled on their schedule, but I guarantee you, Coach Self is like, no, we got to get one in Orlando this year.
Jayhawks right now the #1 team in the country. Johnson not able to make it 3 for 3. That one blocked by Wokeji. McCray in transition, picked up by Dior Johnson. And McCray, the last 2 drives give you a sense of his skill set.
All right, guys look to him as the player when times get hard.
Sellers sits after playing 3 minutes. Ivy Curry back in and knocking down a 3.
Whenever you break a press and you have numbers, you got to look to score. It's a terrific job of the Knights, not just looking to break the press, but looking to score once they got through the pressure.
This is a lineup we have not seen very much of on the floor right now for UCF. They don't communicate. Easy backside rebound and put back for Zach Bell.
Yeah, I mean, just no one on the backside to cover the Wokeji miss, except for Zach Bell from JU.
Ivy Curry drops it off. Nice feed for Tyler Hendricks. No one back defensively for UCF. Bell with the layup. And immediately after that happened, Darius Johnson up off the UCF bench and set to check in. Ivy Curry from the corner. Ivy Curry now down on the floor. Knights looking to run. Dior Johnson drops it off. Chiam scores it.
Is really an NBA prospect as he continues to develop.
Arias, tough drive over the outstretched arm of Chiam.
Well, that's one of his challenges, right? He's got to get his conditioning better, and he has to do a better job of defending ball screens as guards come off and look to attack it.
Ivy Curry feeling it. 3 threes for Jordan Ivy Curry, and he's got 11.
You know, something to be a little more active like the Hawk is in a basketball game.
So we got some ideas.
Yeah,
throw some stuff
workshop it. We'll workshop it.
This was something Jordan Mincy talked about. They had to be ready for and attack UCF's changing defenses. Borio quickly got it up with that left hand.
Yeah, really nice move from Borio.
As you look at the strength of the conference going forward.
Yeah.
Arias stripped away by Coleman. 3-on-1. Coleman will keep it himself. Chiam free throw line jumper is good. It's traveling.
Yeah, and great hands right here from Debo Coleman to create the opportunity. And then as he goes into attack Borio, you're going to see wasn't all the way up there, but this is what you have teammates for, right? Mustafa Chum says, look, man.
Glimpse of Keldon Johnson, UCF's Director of Player Development. He is Darius Johnson's father. Gets the opportunity to coach his son day in and day out.
Yep.
There's Simi Wokeji knocking down a three. There's Keldon, himself a 1,000-point scorer at the college level, along with Darius's older brother. Hall open three, an immediate answer. Keyshawn Hall in double figures with 10.
And I mean, there were countless hours of Darius Johnson in the gym with his father and his brother Xavier Johnson, where they were just at it all the time when these guys were in high school, up every morning, 6:30 in the gym, as Robert McCray uses a nice step-through move there to finish around the rim, so crafty. But I mean, Darius Johnson as well as Robert McCray, both their fathers being so important in their life and their development as not just basketball players, but as young men.
Ivy Curry pulls and gets a friendly bounce off the front rim.
The other thing for Jacksonville is where do they go for offense outside of Robert McCray, right? We've seen Simi Wokeji have a few moments, right? But this is really the guy that creates everything for the Knights offensively.
McCray double teamed with three. Borio lets it go and hits from three as time expires in the first half.
The Big 12 things are not going to get any easier. It's coming over from George Mason, right? You got to make those kind of plays.
A floater by Jakari Spence. JU with some energy.
It's not necessarily his fault. His teammate needs to give him an angle and a window to throw the basketball to him.
JU goes to a 1-3-1, and Jordan Ivy Curry is ready for that. His 5th three of the game. Season high 22 for Ivy Curry came against Florida Atlantic. He's got 19 here. Spence steps through. Rivers trying to tip it, and Chium grabs the net.
Yeah. Curry, nobody's matched up with him out on the perimeter.
The Dolphins quickly back to man-to-man. Hall spinning on Wokeji. Rivers came over to challenge, but Hall able to put it in. Incredible reach from Mustafa Chium. Knights turn it over. Spence has been active. He tees up McCray for a three. Not the best part of his game, just 29% from three-point. Quick inbound to Hall. He is a focal point of UCF inbounds plays. Stepping through on Rivers, shot blocked by Munson.
The phrase that Coach Johnny Dawkins brings up all the time is that the cream will rise to the top, right? As Enrico Borio knocks down.
Boy, right on the money.
Well, this is a unit that hasn't seen any time pretty much all season, right? Austin, as Darius Johnson loads up and knocks down his first triple. This is the first look you're getting at.
And one of 4 local products on this roster. It's been a big priority for Jordan Mincy. Wanted a stronger connection to the Jacksonville basketball community. Johnson whips it out of a double team, and Chium hits the mid-range jumper. Yeah. He is a guy with a really promising future.
I mean, and a young guy, like you said, being from Jacksonville, he has a lot of pride putting on that JU uniform, right? So he's one of those guys that Coach Mincy got to make sure he can keep around up there in North Florida. Only a geographical reference.
Johnson, quick hands, up ahead for Sellers. Tight pass there. Those two weren't very far apart on the floor. JU able to get it back. Borio corner three. But how about the performance by Enrico Borio? He has 11 3 for the freshman from Brazil.
Yeah, you gotta like what you're seeing from Enrico Borio tonight. Hasn't been very consistent throughout the season, but he's came to play tonight as Benny Williams gets into a nice mid-range jump shot in the middle of that Jacksonville zone. I mean, Coach Hood, essentially considered the offensive coordinator, a new term to college basketball. We're used to hearing that in football, but the next big question is Robert McCray puts in another little right.
In order for this team to reach its potential in the Big 12.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is he's such an effective scorer because he's shooting so well from the outside that that's one way to score. Just put it back in the hole. Playing road basketball, right? It is much more challenging in college basketball than a lot of people give it credit for.
Mishandled by Sellers and a feed down low to Munson for the bucket and the foul.
But I mean, Paolo Banchero is just on another level in terms of the success he's had so far. could speak on him being here in Orlando. He's just been tremendous for the community, right? A terrific ambassador for Orlando sports. So I'll tell you what, all the Knights fans are cheering for Paolo Banchero.
Third block for Chiam at the defensive end, and Darius Johnson knocks down a three at the offensive end in the home non-conference portion of the schedule. First time that UCF will be perfect at home in non-conference since 2011-12. This will be his first action of the year. Ivy Curry steps through Borio. Easy block for the freshman from Brazil.
Rico Borio at 6'8" just makes it hard for Jordan Ivy Curry to score over top, especially when he gets him stopped like that.
Chiam out on the perimeter defending Wokeji. Good job there from the freshman center. McCray got a step on Ivy Curry. Shot clock under 5.
Good.
Dang gonna have to let it go from 3, and he buried it. So clock running with under 13 seconds to go. UCF will not shoot it again. And it is gonna be a 20-point victory in the final home game of 2024. Knights finish off a perfect home record in the non-conference for the first time since the 2011-12 season.